Hi, my name is Sophie and I'm starting a YouTube channel to document my transition into moving overseas and quitting my job in the process, getting rid of this apartment that I'm living in right now, this one right here. I have been thinking and trying to calculate and figure out the most ideal time to move overseas, but it never seems to be like an ideal time, or that time frame is like in 2 years or 3 years. My son is 16 years old, so in 2 years he will be 18 in university. So if I move out then, it will be ideal. It will be ideal financially to wait until then. But my thing is emotionally, mentally, I had a breakdown 2-3 weeks ago. I was pretty much just I wasn't good. I had an issue with work. I was doing something and I asked a question, and it was just kind of, I don't want to go into all the details of it, but I couldn't understand why certain things have to be done a certain way. But I think it's always important to respect the process that companies have in place. And I respected and I did what I was told. But I'm not sure. It's just kind of, I don't know. It was like a layer of things. That was just kind of what broke the camel's back. Something that happened at work or whatever. It was nothing really big or traumatic. It was just something that I found myself crawled up in my bed with my knees up to my stomach, just kind of rocking. What I was thinking at that moment was, is this my life? Do I really have to do this for the next 2 to 3 years? I don't know if I can do it, and that scares me. It terrifies me. I had to continue doing work. Like, that happened, whatever happened at work happened in the morning, and I still had to get through that day, and then of course get through the week. I think it happened on a Monday in the morning, so I had to get through that rest of the day, and then I had to get through my evening stuff if I'm taking a nursing course. And it was such a struggle. It was a part of me that was like, shake it off, it's not that bad. But it was that bad, and I was really losing my mind. And I was trying to shake it off and get back to my computer, do what I'm gotta do. It's not that bad. I told myself I'm being lazy. I'm being like, just making it like it's a big thing, and it's not. Like, I just want to have my way. I'm telling myself all these things, but deep down I'm knowing, like, whatever way I want to label what I am going through, I can do that. But all I know is that if I keep on having moments like this and getting really stressed out, I'm feeling it all through my body. The first day I was like crawled up, rolling, rocking back and forth in my bed. I wasn't even crying. It wasn't hysterical. It was just like, I don't know, man. The next day, my hair felt so tight. It didn't feel like a normal headache. I think my brain was trying to recalculate, because I'm trying to find a way where I could like move overseas in 3 months. And obviously, well, at least for me, obviously that's not gonna work. I'm a mother of a 16-year-old that's away in private school in the US. He's getting some sponsorship, but I still am on the hook to pay for his room and board, right? And any other thing that he needs. Like, his aunties on his dad's side help out, but the bulk of it, I'm the one that signed the contract for my son to be out there. Obviously I have that pressure. He's doing good though, so I'm praying for scholarships for university. So 3 months is not possible for me to move to the UK, but I was thinking I can move away in a year. Once I finally calmed down, I told myself while I was kind of really going through it, when I calm down, I need to put together a plan. Because this is going to keep on happening, and I'm terrified if this would happen at my job. I was at home when I had that breakdown. So I was able to go lay down and rock back and forth and go for a walk and, just finish my work and put my laptop down and just kind of like sit in the corner. But if I was in the office and I like went back and forth, just in like it's a little thing where it was a disagreement and it freaked me out because I feel like, is this my life? Because I do data entry. That's mainly majority of my job. I should have probably said that earlier. I do data entry. And I'm doing it for 4 years and 7 months. So it's creeping up to 5 years. So I think most people can understand that it's not necessarily a hard job. It's just kind of tedious. I'm in blast, it pays relatively well. I put my son through private school when he was here in Bermuda for 3 years by myself. Obviously, I live by a very intense budget, somewhat. That was only possible because I was making a decent salary. And my son's finishing up private school overseas. That's like a blessing, right? Like me and my son used to live in a home for young moms and their children. And then we lived in transitional housing called Gulfstream here in Bermuda. And now I have a bachelor's degree. My son's away in private school. Like, it does, like, on paper look like we're really kind of quote unquote made it. But for me, it's like, in order for us to really make it, I need to be happy with what I do. Work. I want to respectfully end my time at my job. So I'm making the process of doing that. So like I had said, I knew when I was kind of going through and I was having like a mental breakdown that when I calm down, I need to put together a plan. So the first thing was I spoke to my landlord and I said, I'm leaving at the end of 2022. So can you please come down to the apartment and check it out and let me know how much I have to pay to get this apartment back up to par, back up to what you want it to look like or whatever. I'm telling my landlord before that I want to move out, I'm moving out, blah, blah, blah. At one point I packed up everything in my house and then changed my mind. But this time, Uncle, if you don't believe me, I'm moving out. So he came down and he took a look around and the main thing he says that I have to pay for painting. So I'm thinking about $1,000. Okay, so this is my apartment. I didn't clean it up. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, so this is the dresser I had to get rid of. As you could kind of see, I don't have much stuff. It's my bathroom. I think it's kind of clean-ish. So this is my bedroom. This is the kitchen. A half bed, half bathroom, kitchen, desk, table. My son's room, which would have been the living room. This couch situation turns into a bed. But yeah, all of this stuff, which is a lot of stuff in here, all had to get moved out, thrown in the trash. But yeah, that's my situation. Bermuda is very expensive and I have to pay for the labor and the paint and the materials. So I'm guessing it's about $1,000. And I can't wait till I pay that so I can just have that out of my way. But that's one of my things that I need to pay for. I have furniture in this house. I'm going to try to put it on Emu, which is like eBay, I think, in America. So I could try to get it sold. If that does not work, I am going to have everything taken to the dump. Because my landlord said everything needs to be out. So I have a year to figure this out as far as getting tables, dressers, and everything else cleared out. We're working towards that. From now is October 2021. By December 2022, this place is going to be empty. And I'm going to be giving him my key. And I'm going to be getting on a plane. And I'm leaving. I said the UK, but it might be the US. I want to be near my son for when he's finishing up high school. So if I get a job out there, there's a lot of opportunities to get jobs in nursing. So I might go out there. But then I'm thinking if it's going to the UK for university, then it'll be a good idea to just go straight to the UK, get settled there. So I'm debating on what I should do with that. $1,000 for painting. I'm thinking about $500 for trucking, but I'm gonna have to price that. I'm going to take pictures and share this to this guy that has a big truck and say roughly how much would this cost to get rid of this stuff. So again, so I can have a number and work towards it, right? And then it's like moving course. My son be finishing high school, so he needs me to help him with university because you don't know what scholarships he's gonna get. I am heavily relying on scholarships to help, but at the same time, wherever I move, I'm willing to hit the ground running and to make this cash money afford for my son to go to university. If I lose my mind staying at this job, that's not going to be helpful to no one. If I react to my boss in a disrespectful manner and then lose my job, that's not going to be helpful to no one. If I can manage to finish up the job that I have now respectfully and get a reference, that I will find another job. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration with distinction. I'm good. Like, I have to trust that, right? Because I feel like I'm letting my son down when I say that I'm leaving, and I will figure it out when I get out there. When I have mentioned this to my son, the fear that overfolds his face, like, you're doing what? You're going to just quit your job? Well, how am I going? I really don't want to not be able to go to university because of money. And how he says that I can't do it justice, it breaks my soul. Because I feel like I'm letting him down. But at the same time, it's like, if I lose my mind, that ain't gonna be no help for you or me. And I matter. You know, I have to matter to myself. And I know I matter to my son, but he desperately wants to go to university. And I want him desperately too. But I'm like, I'm gonna have to work it out on both sides. Help my son out and help myself out, because my son is my world, but I still matter, if that makes any sense. And I have to feel somewhat fulfilled. And doing a data entry job for the unseeable future is scary to me. And I think that's why I was rocking back and forth in my bed, because it was like, I saw no end. I make a good bit of money doing this here in Bermuda. Like, you know, putting my son through school. I'm able to just pay for things for my son and what he needs. Like, yeah, I got this. But now I'm just like, I'm dying inside. It's not even like I want to climb up the corporate ladder and be like the CEO by 40. I just want to be happy. And I hate that I'm not happy, but I have to try. Getting a different job is not crazy. And with a lot of people quitting jobs, that makes it's a lot of opportunity. So if I can manage to finish this nursing course after college and get that little nursing certificate, then I could then move on. And it's a lot of need for nursing assistants around the world. So that gives me some more flexibility. And I'm really trying to take advantage of that opportunity. That's a lot. I've been all over the place, but I want to keep on making videos of me planning my exit from Bermuda. I know a lot of people, when they visit Bermuda, they're like, oh, it's paradise. And it is. It's very beautiful. It's very expensive, but it's a very beautiful place to have grown up. I've only been away a handful of times, but deep in my soul, when I had that breakdown at the end of September, I've had breakdowns before, and they're becoming more closer and closer together, but obviously I remember the last breakdown most vividly, and I keep on picturing myself not even crying, just rocking in my bed, recalculated, because at that point I'm trying to magically come up with money to magically go away and start living away. I also spoke to my boss about me finishing up. I just came back to Bermuda after going to see my son for his birthday in the US, and I just came back. But before I left, I did speak to my boss, and I told him I'm going to finish up at the end of next year. So I did not just give a month's notice or 3 months notice. I gave like over a year, and I did that because I want to put pressure on myself. I have told my landlord on different occasions I'm moving out, and then went back on what I said. I'm never told my boss I'm leaving and then changed my mind. So I know my boss is taking it seriously. I'm taking it seriously because I don't just say I'm leaving and not. I never mentioned that before. I mentioned it this time. I actually felt much freer and happier on my vacation because I'm just like, it has been said. This is what's happening, and I'm gonna move forward. And I'm happy about that. It's happening, and now it's just time to just prepare. And then eventually, when I blink my eyes, it's gonna be time to. I can't wait till I book my ticket. And I have that, obviously, that I need to figure out, well, what am I doing, right? Like, am I going to the UK or the US? Pick. So, but I think purchasing my ticket and it being like, this is what I'm doing is going to be phenomenal. And I can't wait. Yeah.